Hey y'all, it's Alec with Sharing the Journey. If you've been watching our channel for a while, you know that my wife Cindy and I live full-time in our 32-foot motorhome with a dog and a cat, and we work camp our way across America. We've been on the road for about 5 years. Also, if you've been watching our channel for very long, or at least the last few videos, you'll know that we recently had to put our third pet, Midnight, to sleep because she became gravely ill. So I was talking to one of the campers in the campground today, actually yesterday, and they were asking how we moved around so much and got our dog food that we needed or the cat food that we needed, because they said that their animal required specialty food. And I explained to them that, we used to just buy Walmart food, Old Roy dog food and Old Roy cat food. And Chance, our big dog, developed an allergy, a skin allergy to the dog food. We took him to a vet, I think, while we were up in Spartanburg, South Carolina, camping a couple years ago. And the vet suggested that we put him on Science Diet dog food, and then he also said he's getting a little fat and we may want to put him on some like diet dog food. So I bought a bag from him and went on my merry way. Not long after that, we were in Virginia. We were running out of dog food, and I went like 4 different stores trying to find the dog food that we had started feeding Chance and that Chance seemed to really like. And we couldn't find it locally. So I was talking to my mom on the phone, and she said, we use a company called Chewy, and they deliver straight to our house. So she sent me a code which saved me 30% on my first order, and she got to save 30% on her next order, over $75. And we've been using them ever since. My mom uses the subscription base where she doesn't think about it. Every 3 weeks they send her what she normally orders. Because we move around so much, we have decided we just place the order a few days before we need it. It never takes more than 3 or 4 days to get our Chewy order delivered to us. And so that's what we've been doing. Now, the reason I'm actually even bringing up Chewy, because a lot of people know about it, is, like I said, if you watched our video, 2 videos ago, we went into the whole Midnight ordeal. And so Chewy they've never made a mistake with our order. But I'll tell you what happened. So the day that we put Midnight down, I noticed that I was almost out of dog food. And so I went on my app, my Chewy app, and I placed the order. And I was so upset from dealing with the whole ordeal with the death of Midnight. I accidentally clicked an old address for a campground that we were in Minnesota over a year ago. And so I got notification on my phone that our Chewy order had been delivered, and it was at the office. So I walked over to the office here at the campground we're in now in Texas, and they said, "Well, I'm sorry, Alec, we don't have an order for you." I said, "Okay." So I went on my app and I looked at it, and I checked my order. And sure enough, I'd sent it to Minnesota. So the next morning, it was too late in the day to call Chewy, I felt. So the next day, I called Chewy up and I said, I've got, I don't know what to do. I said, I placed this order. It's been delivered. I sent it to the wrong campground. I explained to them that we had lost our dog of 13 years that day, and we still had these 2 other pets. And that I had just was in my absent-mindedness or my being upset, I sent it to the wrong place. I said, is there any way to contact Federal Express or UPS, whoever it is they deliver through, and see if they can get the order sent back. I also explained to them that the campground was a seasonal campground, and that they didn't have someone check the store or the drop-off point at the campground every day, that they had a caretaker that checked it weekly, and that there was nobody even there to receive it. And it had been, the package said it had been left with the personnel at the front desk, which the front desk wasn't even open. And I think her name was Brittany that I spoke to on the phone, and she says, "Mr. Sharp, no problem." She goes, "First of all, let me update your customer profile, and I'm so sorry about your dog." And she asked what animal it was, and I told her, and she was so apologetic. And she said, "You know, this happens from time to time. We understand that. We value our customers." And they resent the food to the correct address, and I'm talking about $90 worth of product. They sent the food to the right campground, and they like overnighted it, because I got it the next day. So they were out. So let's just say if it was $90 worth of food, it cost them $45. So they're out the $45 twice. So basically the $90 I paid for the product, and they made no profit. Plus they express shipped or overnighted, because I got it the next day. So they're out the shipping on that. And if you order over $75 or $50, I forget, then they're out the shipping that they did to Minnesota. And it was crazy. And the whole way all this came up is I got a call from the caretaker there, and the caretaker said, "You know, Alec, I'm not sure what to do." I said, "There's 2 boxes here for you. One that says open immediate personal, and one that says it's in a Chewy box." I said, "Well," I said, "you have," and I talked to him, I said, "You've got dogs and cats?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "They said not to send that food back. That food is for you. You can just keep it, donate it to the local shelter or whatever." That's what Chewy said for us to do. I said, "But could you open the other box? I don't have a clue what it is. I don't have anything headed that way. I haven't placed any other orders." So he opened it, and it was a half dozen red roses. I told them that it was that Midnight was my wife's dog. It was a half dozen red roses, and they had been out in the freezing weather for 2 or 3 days, and they had a little bit of life left to them. It brought tears to my eyes, and I just told the caretaker, I said, "That was just wonderful." He read me the card, and I told him just to give them to his wife. So I called Chewy. I've never had a company do that. They sent me free product because of my mistake, and then they sent us half dozen roses in sympathy for our pet passing. So now they've spent more money on roses for my wife and I, and so my next orders from here on out are going to be cut down by 1 animal. So they know in the future I'm going to be buying less product than I'm buying now. And they went to the expense and the trouble to do that. It was absolutely amazing. So I called them to thank them. And Brittany answered the phone again. It was I don't know how many employees they've got, but the same girl answered the phone, and I just went on and on thanking her so much. We had received our dog food here. The caretaker at the campground was going to take the food he could use for his animals and use it and donate the rest to a local shelter. And then I said, "You know, he told me that you sent flowers." She said, "You mean they sent the flowers to Minnesota?" She says, I removed that address. She said, "Another department does that." I said, "Yes." I said, "But that doesn't matter. It's just the thought." And she said, "Well, you're quite welcome. We were so sad to hear about the passing of your dog." And then yesterday, and that's what brought up this whole conversation with what we do about dog food. Yesterday, we get a delivery here at the campground we are in Texas. Let me show you this. It's another bouquet of flowers with a handwritten note from Chewy. The people are amazing. The service is amazing. So I don't know if you use Chewy or not. I don't have anything but good things to say about them. Anybody that has used them in the past, if you go underneath your user profile, you've actually got a refer a friend thing where on your first order with the company, you can get 10% off your first $75 spent. And I think it's free shipping on that order if it's over $50 or over $75. I'm gonna link that down below. 100 of y'all could do it. I think I get credit for 3. They give me 30% off the next 3 orders, or it may be, it's a limited number of orders, but that's not, I don't care about that. I'm trying to reward Chewy for being such a great business. You just don't hear about that anymore. So kudos to Chewy. If you don't use Chewy, check below. They deliver it to your house or your campground or wherever you are. So that's how we get our dog food and cat food on the road. Thank you all for listening to this. This is not my normal content, but it is about RV living, RV life, full-time RV life. So I guess it is a little bit. But I wanted to give a shout out to a company that's doing the right thing and encourage you to use them. This is not a paid promotion. So, you know, may I get 30% off the next couple of orders if y'all use them? Yes, and thank you. But if I just want them, or the public, I just want the public to know that it's nice to see a company that's doing the right thing. Safe camping out there. Check our bio or about for ways you can support the channel. Y'all have a great day.